Good evening. New tonight as we come on the air, a jury finds former Little Rock police officer Josh Hastings civilly liable in the death of Bobby Moore, a 15-year-old that he shot and killed in 2012.
Hastings was being sued by Sylvia Perkins, Moore's mother. Alicia Dover joins us now live from the federal courthouse with what the jury found. Alicia.
Well, that's right. And as you said, the jury ruling in favor of Sylvia Perkins in this civil lawsuit. Essentially, by doing so, they're saying that 15-year-old Bobby Moore had his civil rights violated when he was shot and killed by former Little Rock police officer Josh Hastings. The jury awarding Perkins and Bobby Moore's siblings in total $415,000 for the loss of Moore's life. Here's what Perkins and one of her attorneys had to say about hearing the jury ruled on their side.
That was my baby, and now I know that he should have been still here with us, but he's not. These happy tears, very happy tears. That's what this is.
And I'm reminded what Dr. Martin Luther King says, that the arc of the moral compass is long, but it often bends towards justice, and this is one of those times that it did. We're thankful to the jury. This jury worked very hard, and my faith in the judicial system has been strengthened again.
A lot of emotion outside of this courthouse today. Coming up at 6, hear from one of the jurors about the decision that they had to make and the message he hopes this sends to not only the state but the whole country. Back to you.
Okay, Alicia Dover live for us. Alicia, thank you. The attorney representing Hastings says they don't agree with the jury's decision but want to put the last 5 years
Cop ordered to pay $415,000 of own money to family of unarmed teen he killed. Read more at http://thefreethoughtproject.com/personally-liable-shooting-death-Little Rock. An encouraging end to a tragic story comes out of Arkansas this week after a former Little Rock police officer was found liable in the shooting death of 15-year-old boy in 2012. What sets this case apart from the myriad of other civil cases in which police officers are found responsible for killing, beating, and depriving people of their rights, is that this cop was held personally responsible and will have to pay the victim's family using his own assets, not the taxpayers. On August 12, 2012, then Little Rock police officer Josh Hastings, 31, and another officer were investigating a report of car break-ins. The officers attempted to box in a car occupied by the victim, Bobby Moore 3, along with 2 other teens. Hastings fired 3 rounds into the vehicle of unarmed teens, striking Moore 3 times, killing him. As is the norm when police shoot into moving vehicles, Hastings claimed he feared for his life as the 15-year-old boy attempted to run over him. However, according to court records, the car was in reverse when Hastings fired. The other teens in the car also testified that they were trying to flee and they did not want to run the officer over. Before the civil case this month, Hastings was tried twice in criminal court, each time on charges of manslaughter, but the juries ended in deadlock both times. After 2 mistrials, the prosecutors declined to go after Hastings a third time. Naturally, after the deadlocked juries, the family of Moore was shaken, feeling like they'd never see justice for their lost child. However, last Thursday, all that changed and a heartening precedent was set. After 2 days of deliberation, the unanimous verdict was returned at 3:15 p.m. on Thursday. U.S. District Judge James Moody Jr., filling in for presiding Chief U.S. District Judge Brian Miller, read aloud the verdict that awarded Moore's mother, Sylvia Perkins, and her family $415,000. As the Arkansas Democrat reported, Perkins cried so hard at the news of the verdict that she shook. The court threw out the case against 2 others involved in the lawsuit, and Perkins was told she could file an appeal that decision. There are times when my faith in the judicial system has been weakened, Austin Porter Jr., co-counsel for Perkins said. There are times when my faith in the judicial system has been strengthened. This is one of those rare times when justice has prevailed. Hastings, who is now a delivery driver, noted that he has no idea how he'll pay the $415,000. However, it was not money that Perkins was after, it was justice. The case has never been about money, Perkins said, adding that she just wanted the truth to come out. It's been 5 years, she said. Ain't nothing going to bring him back. As the Free Thought Project has reported extensively, police officers, even when found at fault for their abusive actions, are almost never held personally liable. It is the taxpayers who foot the bill. However, this new trend in accountability seems to be on the rise, and will be massively more effective at curbing police brutality than any system in place right now. In February, former Los Angeles County Sheriff Lee Baca was told he must decide whether to pay $100,000 in damages, from his own pocket stemming from a civil lawsuit involving an inmate abuse case or face liens on his assets. Baca's case was the second such case in only a short time, in which cops are being forced to come out of pocket after being found at fault in a lawsuit. Palm Beach County Sheriff's Deputy Adam Lynn's case was similar but a bit more extreme than Baca's and Hastings', however. In 2013, Lynn spotted 19-year-old Don't Rule Stevens in a high-crime area, the man's own low-income neighborhood, riding a bicycle in a manner the deputy found suspicious. Lynn stopped the youth, who dismounted the bike with a cell phone in his hand and slowly approached the officer. Just outside the range of dashcam video, the officer shot Stevens 4 times, claiming he was in fear for his life, but footage and evidence clearly showed the claim to be baseless. 3 of the bullets remain lodged in Stevens' body, according to the Sun-Sentinel, 2 in his arm and 1 in his spine, which left him paralyzed and dependent on a wheelchair for mobility. Stevens won a massive $22.4 million settlement, and U.S. Magistrate Judge Barry Seltzer ruled that Lynn should foot at least a portion of the bill. Last month, nearly everything this officer owned was seized to pay back Stevens, including everything from his furniture to his clothing. Both Lynn and Hastings will most assuredly think twice before shooting another unarmed teen. Imagine, for a moment, the result of all police officers being held personally liable for their actions. In nearly every other profession on the planet, if someone hurts someone else while on the job, they are held liable personally. Why can't cops carry personal liability insurance just like doctors? As instances of police brutality and police killings continue to be exposed, there is no doubt that the U.S. is in dire need of reform. The simple requirement for police to be insured for personal liability is an easy fix, especially to remove repeat offenders from the force. All too often, when a tragic death such as Tamir Rice occurs, months later we find out that the officer should have never been given a badge and a gun in the first place because of their past. However, insurance companies, who can't fleece the taxpayers to pay for problem cops, would have to come out of pocket to pay for them, and would make sure that these officers are uninsurable. If the officer becomes uninsurable, the officer becomes unhireable, simple as that. There are likely many cops out there right now who would be denied insurance coverage by any company, due to their track records. A requirement for personal liability insurance would, quite literally, weed out problem officers almost overnight.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too, because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me, and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if some, if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a, let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it, 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt-free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, if I got, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.